Alright guys, Dokkan time, and this is my second attempt at recording this. We are going to do a how to build for the Piccolo and Vegeta exchange unit. This is the banner unit for the physical Super Saiyan trio, or I like to call them the movie bomb unit. And then I'll be honest, there's no roll tips for this, so I apologize if a lot of people like my roll tips for units, but this is a unit that is made to be put alongside the new LR. Made to be put on this. So I will say that unless you have this Piccolo and Vegeta on the same team, at least with a friend unit, physical Super Saiyan trio, or at least a team that they can be on that is equally able to buff and support other units on the team, I just don't feel like you'll get the same level of how good this unit can be. So I just wanted to kind of give that disclaimer there at the beginning here. Now, before we get into the kit here, you'll see on the right side of the screen, I have my 55% build. I'm going to scroll through real quick, and I'll explain a little bit on the quick builds. We'll go through the summary and breakdown of the unit, and then we'll go through the defense, and then yeah, that'll be it for the video. So, anyways, please do like and subscribe, and comment if there's any units you want to know how to build. I will do my best to either make a video for the build for the character that you choose, or I'll suggest you go to a previous build that I had for the unit, or I'll tell you that it's not time yet. Some units do not need a build video just yet. Sometimes you gotta wait for their EZAs to come out, and as of right now, some units are just not, worth the hidden potential. So, anyways. So as far as his 55% goes, his 55% is just throw it into additional. I will say for his 55%, if you are the type of player that's like, nah, this is a support unit, they're a side unit, I'm going to float them, etc., etc., putting a level 7 dodge on them is not a bad thing. You can go ahead and do that. That's perfectly fine. That is an option. I personally think that they just benefit more overall as a full unit, being basically two different units in one, with the level 12 additional. As far as, like I said before, I totally understand if you are one of those players that prefers a full dodge on a unit. I do think it's a good enough build. I think it is a good build for this unit. You're focusing on the dodge center of it, and then the additional actually does help with, of course, defense building on both on both Piccolo and Vegeta. So I do think that this is a viable build as well. Although if you do want to focus on the Vegeta side, as you will be in the Vegeta state more often than you will in the Piccolo state, additional is the way to go for Vegeta specifically. And then if you don't want to go off of what they have built in their kit, you can go ahead and just give them more crit to do for more damage focus, which Vegeta can do some damage, I will tell you that. Or you can go for the nice little middle ground and kind of focus more into the additional side, and then put the rest into dodge, and then just work off what the units have built into their kit. I think this is the most common middle ground build. This is literally right here on the side of the screen is my middle ground build. That's what I named the file. It is a straight up middle ground between using Piccolo and Vegeta, and I think it will work fine for the majority of players. But I do have a feeling a majority of players will often or not probably go with the dodge build. And I think a very small amount of players will probably go for the additional crit build. But I think this will be the primary one right here with the additional and dodge. And I do think it is an appropriate build as well. So I will have this looping in the video. We are going to go ahead and break down the unit's kit and defense numbers. So as far as 200% leaders go, this unit has lots of 200% leaders. Lots of different options here. I would say his best teams to be put on, of course, is the physical Super Saiyan trio team. Orange Piccolo's team, definitely, and then Beast Gohan's team. I would say Gogeta, but personally, I'm not a fan of doing double Gogeta. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't think it's a bad team to throw him on, but it is not my preference. But I do think all of those are viable teams to be putting them on, of course. And then for other areas of content, all these other 200% leads are great. So those are just 200% leaders. This unit has loads of 170 leads. His leader skill is Worthy Rivals, Bond of Master and Disciple. 130 lead. Greatly raises attack and defense, and lowers enemies' attack and defense. This is the Piccolo part of it, so you will be in a Piccolo right now. Key plus 3 attack and defense 200, 30% chance to dodge. Additional attack and defense 150 when attacking. Superclass allies attack and defense plus 30%, plus an additional key plus 2 attack and defense plus 30% for all characters who are on, or for other characters of All Out Struggle and Movie Heroes. So it's a 60% support to Superclass All Out Struggle and Movie Heroes category. That is crazy. We love to see 60% supports. We've been seeing 60, 70, and even, I swear we saw an 80 once. But we've been seeing a lot higher supporting characters as of recent, and I'm liking it. I like this. This unit can also foresee enemy super attack for 2 turns from the character's entry turn, and have an additional chance of evading by 30% for 4 turns from the character's entry turn when there's another all-out struggle category ally on the team. And will also recover 30% HP at the end of the turn, and then exchange into Super Saiyan Vegeta upon entering turn 5. So 60% dodge chance, 60% support, and the only real requirement is that you have an all-out struggle ally on the team other than this unit. As I said before, this unit primarily thrives with the physical Super Saiyan trio as their leader and or just being on the team. Like I said, when you're in the Piccolo state, you have all Piccolo links. You have Namekians, Gazer, Respect, Brainiacs, etc. Not a very good set of links, in my personal opinion. The categories are okay. I will say the unfortunate thing here is that this is primarily a Piccolo unit. So when you rock this unit, you are not on the Super Saiyan category. You're not on Pure Saiyans. You're not on categories that Vegeta would be on. This is primarily a Piccolo unit at the end of the day. But unfortunately, majority of the time, you're actually going to be ending up with Vegeta before the end of a fight. So that is where the primary action is going to be. Otherwise, Piccolo portion, you're just going to be, supporting and hopefully floating or dodging. But interestingly enough, I haven't tested it, but I wonder how this rotation would go. I think it would be a fun rotation to rock, being on a movie hero team. So, let's go ahead and go look at his Super Saiyan Vegeta exchange. So when you exchange into Vegeta, you have greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, and then 30% chance to crit. As I said before, he's got built-in crit, he's got it in this, so you don't need to necessarily give Vegeta, or Piccolo Vegeta crit. You don't need to. You don't have to. A 30% crit chance is equal to a level 15 crit in the hidden potential system. So just keep that in mind. Upon his first entry, once you exchange into Vegeta, he has an extra 300% attack and critical hit for the turn. He auto crits on that first entry. So if you can time it correctly, you could potentially really take advantage of this damage, because the damage can go up to like the 20 mil mark. And with built-in additionals, you could be really decimating a health bar of the boss. My advice is to try and have the Piccolo Vegeta unit on a turn 3 and float him. Float him on turn 3 so that when he comes back around on turn 6, he will auto transform into Vegeta, plus he will also change the entire field of STR, AGL, and Tech Key Spheres into physical Key Spheres. He'll get an extra 100% attack when attacking with another all-out struggle category ally on team starting from the 6th turn. So he not only has the 300% buff, but then he'll also have the 100% buff. If you float him on turn 3, he will transform and get this part of his passive all at once. And I think that's the sweet spot for this unit, where you can do some serious damage. It just depends on where you're at the fight. Hopefully it's not at the end of a phase and you didn't waste all that damage, but I think it is potentially a potential possibility, unfortunately. But this unit can be very good. on the right team with the right support, you know, really setting him up for a victory. So I really do feel like this is a unit that benefits the most from additional, primarily. So me personally, if I do manage to pull this unit and get 2 dupes, I will be going for full additional personally, because I'm going to take advantage of this transformation, this auto crit, the extra 300, 400% attack. I mean, I'm going to take advantage of that. So I would go for full additional personally. And like I said, once you exchange into Vegeta, you have Vegeta links. And then his best link partners are Super Saiyans and other Vegetas, of course. So now, with all that being said, let's look at the defense numbers here. As far as the defense numbers for Vegeta, compliments of Halvard, when you're on Vegeta, his defense post super, just with 1 super with no support, is only 500k. Now, you got to understand, this is only with a 40% support. I don't think he's actually taking into consideration of the support that you can get from the physical LR Super Saiyan Trio. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these numbers. These numbers can be dramatically higher, but primarily on the physical Super Saiyan Trio team. If you're not on the physical Super Saiyan Trio team, I don't think you're going to have these numbers, and I think they're going to be lower. And that's when I think some people are going to be like, no, this unit's crap. It just depends on what team you run this on, how much support you're giving this unit, because it does matter. It does matter. Now, when you look at Piccolo, Piccolo has a little bit higher defense on double super, but primarily with Piccolo, you want him to dodge with his 60% dodge. And that is why I still kind of do suggest, you know, you go full additional and then you put the rest into dodge. Overall, that's what my suggestion would be as far as building, based on the defense numbers, based on how his kit works. I would probably suggest full additional and put the rest into dodge. That would be my personal build, but as for the general player and how they want to use a unit, they probably would rather go the latter of, you know, the opposite of what I would want to actually do. I make builds that I think people would want to use more so than what my build is. My build for this unit would be straight up level 20 additional and then just putting a level 6 into the dodge. That's what my personal build would be. I didn't make a personal build for this because I don't have this unit. I have run math. I have done math for this unit. I've seen what the kit has. I run and seen him on a JP account, and you know, I think he does run very well. I think he does do very good. He does good damage. He tanks good enough for what he is. He is a banner unit, and supports very well in those first couple turns as Piccolo, and I think he's very good. I like him. But if I had my unit, which I don't have, he would be a full additional for me. Full additional, level 20 additional, and then level 6 dodge would be my personal build. Whenever I get him, whenever I pull him. Maybe I'll pull him later. But anyways, guys, let me know how you're going to build this physical Piccolo and Exchange Vegeta unit. And have a good day and a good night.